Hey everyone, welcome to another pre-ISE edition of my Rants and Raves video cast. I'm excited to be joined with my friends from NETGEAR AV, Laurent Meja and John Hinkle. Gentlemen, how are y'all doing?
Doing great, Gary.
Good to see you. Good to see you. Laurent, how are you doing?
Oh, very nice. Thank you, Gary, for having us.
I appreciate it. Last time you and I talked, we were talking about, chip shortages and sort of the industry where it was at, and kind of all that's behind you now, Laurent, isn't it?
Yes, I remember you asked me when we were going to be back to normal, and I told you not before the next summertime, 2023. Well, I have better news now. That's right. I mean, we had a very successful 2022, and yes, I think I can officially say that starting this month, January 23, situation is much better, and we should get to normal much before the
That's
summer.
good. That's good. Now, of course, NETGEAR has a Pro AV division, an AV division now. You can go to netgear.com/pro AV. And probably the highlight of that is, there's a couple of highlights. One is you design systems for free, which we'll get into in just a second. The highlight product, though, is the 4250, the M4250 series. John, talk about that series for just a second.
It's been phenomenal success, Gary. Yeah, that's the one that really changed things for NETGEAR. It looks like an AV appliance, looks great in a rack. It has the ports in the back. You can flip it around if you want. Lots of configuration options. But really, it's down to the user interface. That's what really set us apart for profile-based configuration. So almost one-click configuration of the switch. And everybody's finding that just groundbreaking and a huge help in their system integration.
One thing that we talked about last month was your partnership with Shure and how it's all completely plug and play. I'm expecting to see a lot more of that in 2023, Laurent. I think that's going to really change the world because obviously the data is in. Your friend Richard Jonker did a survey on LinkedIn to give just kind of a temperature check on how the industry is doing on AV over IP, and it was almost 80% of the respondents were using AV over IP products in one level or another. So the 4250 series is going to be at ISE. You're going to be in stand 5D800, the 4300 series, obviously the sort of the flagship product that started it all, the 4500 series. All of that will be at ISE. Laurent, when we walk in the booth, what can we expect to see?
Well, you are going to see the switches, but more importantly, you are going to see the latest developments that we are working on right now. Because very quickly, it all started 10 years ago, right? We started with SDVW and some video transmit and receive. Now we have 200 certified manufacturers that we work with, for which we have a profile. So yes, we fixed the single switch operation. You can see John Henkel on YouTube configuring a switch for NDI5.
If John Henkel can do it, anyone can do it.
5
Exactly.
Is that what you just said?
But more seriously, when you have a larger install with a core access aggregation, 5, 10 switches, or even 100 switches, then it's fastidious. So what you're going to see, Gary, is that we now have a central controller. It's called the Engage controller. And this Engage controller sees all the switches and lets you deploy your Shure or QSC or Crestron or NDI profiles all the way centrally. And of course, we are improving this Engage controller quarter after quarter, so the latest release will be visible in 2 weeks from now at ISE.
Perfect. All right, so we're going to see the Engage AV controller. We're also going to see the 4250 series product, John, which is sort of, like I said, it's sort of changed everything in 2022. I think that family will continue to be expanded. But I also know that, you have an interesting philosophy, John, and that is, look, we're NETGEAR. We're not, we are here. We have a dedicated team, NETGEAR AV, that's dedicated to supporting the AV industry. And I still want to get into the fact that you design systems for free. So we'll come back to that. But one thing that I think is kind of interesting is you have a philosophy of like, look, while you're in there, why don't you tell them, look, we can help you with the rest of your network needs. You're going to be in the IT market either way. At a very minimum, consider our new access points, the WAX 618 being the newest one that you're going to show at the show. Talk about your wireless access points and why AV integrators should be supporting those, John.
Yeah, great points, Gary. We've been around networking for like 26 years. I think this is our 27th year, maybe, a long time. We know networking, and we've had a bunch of access points people, I think, didn't realize we have these awesome Wi-Fi 6 now is the latest standard. Wi-Fi 7 is coming up, but an access point for your business, because in that office, in that educational classroom, wherever you are, house of worship, you're going to have some wireless needs. So you can use our Insight remote management software to onboard those wireless access points easy. And then also some maybe PoE switches, the non-AV switches. You can access all that through our Insight platform and then get great coverage. We also have a team, like you mentioned, for rAVe, for Pro Wi-Fi. So a Pro Wi-Fi design team to help you figure out the best placement and the best product for all your wireless installations.
Yeah, so let's talk about that for just a second, Laurent. This was your brainchild, was to have designers that would design AV over IP systems for free. The idea is that you have a Pro AV design services team. You can go to NETGEAR, netgear.com/ProAV, and you have that team that will go and, whether you're using Crestron or Extron or SDVOE or even IPMX, there's some new IPMX products that will debut at ISE. I'm excited about to tell you that as well. No matter who you're using, you'll design the system for them. Obviously, you're going to put in a NETGEAR switch, but you're willing to do the design for them to kind of coach them into how to do AV over IP, right, Laurent?
Absolutely. So, we want to help to design the system so that at least at the beginning, the system is just well designed. But I'm going to tell you, because, that's our 4th year already. When you and I first talked about the Pro AV design at netgear.com, we said we have, some Americans, some Europeans, some people in Asia. We have expanded that team. So now, by 300-400% already. That's a huge team.
Wow.
And this is really successful. Let me tell you why. It's because, when we help on the design, after that, the system integrator is trained, is going to replicate, right? It's like a cookie cutter kind of thing. But what is not solvable is all the corner cases and all the issues that potentially can pop up on many, if not all, installations. Right. Because when you, as you said, you do AMX or Extron Nav or Crestron, it's not only that. You have a quantity of other audio with Dante AVB or AS67 and lighting and this and that, and your control and your DSPs and your amplifiers. And all of that is individually certified at NETGEAR. So that's why we know how to design the network and the VLANs and the profiles for that. But combined all together, sometimes they don't behave right. And of course, this team that we have formed, we know how to fix these issues. We now are very well organized.
And you probably have a database of
exactly
this is what's probably going to happen. So we need to at least tell you. Yeah.
Right. I know you always say I talk too much, but I'm going to give you a real world example from tonight in Europe, in the early morning of the East Coast. A Crestron blade on a DM chassis not working with PoE. And we know that because you need to remove a little jumper out of that chassis, because this thing was designed many years ago when PoE on the old Cisco's was not standardized yet. Right. So my answer to you is that, yes, we are very active on the design, but I think that John will agree, we are very successful. And hundreds of customers are coming to us every day because we know how to help.
Right, so you're problem solving as well.
Exactly.
Design and the problem
we are supporting the AV installations when our switchers are in use. Yes.
Yeah. So that's a free service that NETGEAR AV is providing. I want to mention one other thing. I did a LinkedIn on this, but you're teaching, Laurent, you're teaching a free class on Wednesday, February 1st on how to design an AV over IP system. If you happen to be at Barcelona, definitely go. It's free. You can register. There's a link in the description of this. You can register, and it's going to be actually in room 13C in hall CC3. It's at 10:30 in the morning, and then following that, there's another class on the 10 pitfalls of wireless design. But I want you to, if you're going to be there, consider signing up for those. Again, the link is in the description of this video cast. In the meantime, go to netgear.com/ProAV. If you're not an integrator, I don't know who you'd be, but if you're not an integrator and not already have access to NETGEAR, this is your chance to do it. Plan on going by their booth or stand at at ISE. They're going to be in 5D 800. Laurent, thanks for staying up and waiting for this recording. And John, thank you for joining me and planning all this.
Always a pleasure, Gary. Thanks for having us. Look forward to seeing you there.
Yeah, we'll see everyone at ISE. And if you want to see all of our ISE coverage, go to ravepubs.com/ISE. Thanks for watching this.